What's up, guys? Peter here. Hey, I saw some posts about things and they weren't posed as a question, but I think that they should have been a question. So what I see a lot is people talking about, hey, I've been reaching out to my clients, they haven't been responding, I've been sending text, emails, voicemails, whatever, and I've talked in another video about how this is really a sign that you're not producing value. So that's what I think you need to go back to. Is you need to go back to yourself here. You need to look internally. You need to look at your notes. You need to look at the experience that you provided and say, what about that was not enough value that they're not coming back? And I want to tell you that if you're calling, texting, reminding, hounding maybe your clients to come back and meet with you, you are not coaching. And one of the things that I don't do is I don't send a reminder out about a meeting. I don't call them at the meeting time. They call me or call into my conference number. I don't do any of that. I don't ask them, how did things go? I don't send emails or text or anything. And I certainly don't bug them for the next meeting. So, if you go on to a coaching call with me and you tell me, hey, this is what I want to do, and it's some big elaborate thing, and tomorrow you have a benchmark, I'm not going to email you tomorrow and say, how did your first milestone go, right? Or did you accomplish that first step? Because now I've turned into an accountability partner. Now, as a coach, I do want to be something of an accountability partner, but that can easily become an automated reminder system, a virtual assistant, which is not what I am. And if you can't use your own organizing and scheduling system to remind you that we have a meeting and what that number is, then that's not my responsibility. And when I provide that to you, all I'm doing is continuing to condition you that you don't have to remember that, hey, I don't have to put it on my calendar because Pete always emails me the day before and says, hey, we have a coaching call tomorrow. Are you going to be on it? Or, hey, we have a coaching call in 5 minutes and here's the dial-in number, right? I'm going to provide all that to you when we meet. I'm going to do all of the normal business and coordination things. But what I'm not going to do is hound you about it, because that starts taking the burden off of people to be organized and responsible for themselves. And the big problem here as a coach, your number one priority here is to enable them to be self-efficacious. And that's a big word for saying you want them to be independent, right? The saying of give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. We are clearly in the camp of trying to enable people to be able to learn how to fish so that they can feed themselves later. And if in the micro, in the short term, in the near term, you are taking off all of the small burdens that are very easy to manage, how can we expect them to do the hard things that are difficult to manage, that are difficult to achieve, that are going to push them outside of their comfort zone, and expect them to do that if they're not doing the little things? So like I said, if they don't show up for appointments, I don't bug them about it. If they don't show up for the call, I wait 5 minutes and then I do go off and do my own thing. I don't send them reminders about meetings. I don't send them a list of to-dos later. I don't send them checkups on homework or projects or milestones that they're doing. They can certainly inbound that to me and say, and then I will respond usually saying, hey, that's great work, and hey, here's another thing that you might think about, or here's another resource, or if they have a question. Absolutely, those are all on the table. I'm not trying to not do anything and not be my part. But as soon as I become an accountability partner, I start sniffing at the idea of becoming their virtual assistant. And that's a no-no, right? So we want to enable them to be independent. We don't want to enable them to rely on us more for things. So if you're hounding them, texting them, calling them, you're not coaching. You're enabling them to be lazy and to offload the detail work to you. So don't do that. Don't do it. That's my tip for today. See you later.